"Your work is garbage," my wife's father said, and in front of 50 people he tapped a single key and erased a year of my life. "Begin again." My phone rang. "Armitage and Cross," the voice said. 800,000 a year. Equity, full control of strategic partnerships. We want you. "I accept," I answered in the hallway, loud enough for the boardroom to hear. When I stepped back in, Richard Colburn's face had gone the color of printer paper. 3 months earlier, I'd still believed I could win this family over. My wife, Celeste, had lobbied hard for me to leave my steady job and join her family's firm, Haldren Global. The pay bump was serious, the office glossy, and Richard, CEO, monarch, and lifelong skeptic of his son-in-law, had dangled a corner office like a carrot on a platinum stick. The culture, though, was frozen in 1985. Every meeting sounded like a mixtape of efficiency, billables, and control. Clients were columns on a spreadsheet. If a contract slipped, the answer was to push harder, not listen better. So I tried something radical. I listened. Maxwell Breen mentioned his oldest was starting college. I remembered. 3 weeks later, I asked how move-in went. That call turned into a 2-hour expansion discussion. When Lux Textiles hit 20 years, I mailed a small custom wall hanging from a local artisan. It cost $50 and secured a $500,000 renewal. I checked on soccer tournaments and marathons, congratulated new hires, and yes, spent a few minutes on the phone with a golden retriever named Murphy in the background. Client satisfaction climbed. Renewals got easy. Referrals started appearing like spring crocuses. Our numbers were up 18% in 6 months. The only stat that didn't improve was Richard's mood. He summoned me and asked for a comprehensive audit of my approach. Every call, email, meeting, deviation from protocol. 2 weeks. It was meant to bury me in paperwork. I decided to build a monument instead. 70 pages of charts, correlations, and client quotes tying human connection to millions in revenue. Richard read it, called a company-wide meeting, and, smiling, like a game show host, held my report aloft as a cautionary tale. He cherry-picked lines, 30 minutes discussing a client's dog, and turned them into punchlines. Laughter rippled. Then he moved the cursor to the master file on the big screen and hit delete. The room gasped. Something in me settled. If the CEO would rather torch success than admit he's wrong, there's nothing left to fix. That's when Armitage and Cross called. I walked back into the room, phone still warm. "I have an announcement," I said. "Armitage and Cross has offered me the head of strategic partnerships, full autonomy to do the work you just deleted. I've accepted. I resign, effective immediately." "You can't," Richard barked. "Protocols, contracts." "Section 12, subsection 4, I replied. "Immediate resignation in cases of public humiliation or hostile environment." I'd read my contract over lunch. I thanked the people who'd backed me, grabbed my laptop, and left to a chorus of whispers. Behind me, Richard sputtered something about regret and loyalty. The bridge had already burned. He lit it himself. Armitage. And Cross felt like sunlight after a basement. Real wood desk, a chair that didn't injure you, and, more importantly, permission to do the job the way it works. My second day, Maxwell called. "Congrats on the move," he said. "My renewal's up. Service nosedived after you left. What can A&C do?" An hour later, Breen Manufacturing was ours. That afternoon, Justine from Lux Textiles rang with the same story and the same decision. By week's end, David Chun, Sarah Morrison, and Trevor Walsh had all reached out. I didn't poach a soul. People followed the relationship. By months, and 10 major accounts, over half of Haldren's annual revenue, were gone. Haldren began to list. Layoffs arrived. Service worsened, which spooked the remaining clients, which caused more departures. The spiral tightened. Inside the boardroom, CFO Margaret Hendricks dug through backups and recovered pieces of my deleted report. She lined the data up against the client exodus and presented it to the directors. The verdict: this wasn't bad luck or market headwinds. It was management. In month 10, the board voted no confidence and removed Richard. Consolidation talks followed. Haldren, once a family crown jewel, became a distressed asset and was swallowed whole. The brand vanished. The lesson didn't. They even tried to recruit me back. CEO, obscene pay, carte blanche to save the wreckage. I declined in under a minute. Some invitations are just elegantly wrapped disasters. Meanwhile, Armitage and Cross made me a senior partner within 6 months. Our revolutionary strategy kept showing up in trade journals and MBA syllabi, which always made me laugh. There's nothing revolutionary about remembering people's names and caring whether their daughter's team won state. Maxwell's. Son hit the dean's list again. Justine opened 3 new markets. David started referring competitors, which is how you know you're doing it right. Your clients become your sales team. Richard? The industry grapevine said he'd taken a lesser role in another state for less than half his old salary. Recruiters whispered cautionary tales about the CEO who deleted success on a projector. I didn't lift a finger to make that happen. I didn't have to. He authored his own ending. Celeste filed for divorce a few months after I left Haldren. It was calm, almost kind. She kept the house. I kept my work and my peace. Our kids stopped dreading holiday dinners that doubled as performance reviews. If there's a moral, it's simple. Treat clients like people. Build long games. Don't. Confuse volume with value. And when someone shows you they'd rather protect their ego than your results, believe them and take the call that frees you. The view from the top is better when you climbed by lifting others, not by deleting what works.